Hey everybody. In the last video, I mentioned that I would show you how to do regression uh, with Desmos and with Sheets, and then I didn't do it. I realized that after I put the video up. So I'm gonna make another video to show you how to do that. So here we go. I'm doing the same problem as we did in the example from the previous video. So let's share up my screen. I'm not gonna make you watch me type it all in, right? So this is the same data we were just looking at with midterm average final exam score. And there is a command. So let me show you. So I have to tell you, I didn't know how to do this until pretty recently. So let me show you how I figured out, or how I found out, I didn't figure it out, how I found out how to do this, um, so that you can do the same thing with Sheets. I just opened up a Google graph or a Google search and just said linear regression Sheets, right? And you get a bunch of options, right? It gives you videos. I hope everyone's okay doing this, but it's you know, it's very straightforward. Like this is actually how I learned to do stuff in Sheets most of the time. There's a command called linest, or linear estimate. Um, so let's see here, this guy right here. I like using the Google support thing. It's really helpful. This is also available in Sheets itself. The command is available in Sheets itself, but only if you know what the command is. Well, I mean, you can go look it up, but I find it helpful to type in the command, and then it will bring up this little help file. So we're going to go over to Sheets right now. I hope we're still looking at the right thing. So here's the idea. We're going to do linest. So that's linear estimate. So that's equals linest. So this guy right here, and it'll tell me what we want to do. So we have to put in four things. Notice we've got four inputs into the function. So the first one is the y ranges. So that's the y's. And the second one is the corresponding x's that go with them. And then two questions. Calculate b. So in other words, find the um, find the y-intercept, or else not. Um, and the reason you might not want to find the y-intercept is to force your line to go through zero, or to go through the origin. Like for instance, if it's two things that you know for sure, if one of them is zero, the other one has to be zero, then you might want your trend line to go through the origin. Um, for our purposes, we don't know that, right? Our predictor variable could be zero, and our x could be zero, and our y might not be zero, or vice versa. So we're going to make that one false, or excuse me, we're going to make that one true, because we don't want to force it through the origin. And the last one is verbose, and this is why I don't love Sheets for doing linear regression. I'll show you what it looks like. It's going to find all the same things that, or most of the same things that doing linreg t-test in your calculator will do, but it's not going to label any of them, which is a little annoying. So we're going to do, what is this? B2 through B30, B2 through B30, comma, A2 through A30, that's a 1, A30, comma, calculate B. Yes, we do want to do that. And then verbose also true. So we can see what it looks like. And we get this. It just gives us a bunch of stuff. And if you don't know what these things are before you start, you have no real way of knowing, or if you don't know what order these 10 things are in before you start, you have no real way of knowing what they are afterwards, or after you do this command, which is why I don't like this. It's a little annoying that they did this without labeling anything. Also, by the way, I deliberately did linest down away from the data, because it requires this 2x5 block, or 5x2 block. You can look at the command, the calculator. Where is that? Doc. That one? No. Oh, it's hiding some of the windows. Hiding, of course, the exact one I want. There it is. I apologize. Little snafu there. So it if we do linreg t-test, right, it shows us all this stuff, right? So we can figure out which one is which based on this. The t-value was 9.477. The p-value was 4.4 times 10 to the negative, or 10 to the negative 10. They're doing a slightly different test here. Do they do 4.4 times 10 to the negative 10? No, they don't even show us that. So anyway, a lot of the stuff matches up. This is the y-intercept, and the slope was this one, I think. And I'm not sure, this one's degrees of freedom. These guys are, there's an f-test going on. They do an f-test instead of a t-test, which is totally fine to test whether there's a significant correlation. It's totally fine. The f-test is actually a little bit better because it works with multiple regression, and the t-test only works with linear regression in 2 variables only. But all this stuff is related to that. So it's a little bit harder to find the information here, which is annoying. On the plus side, it's really easy to make a chart. In fact, I'm not even going to select anything. I'm just going to hit chart, and I believe it makes the right one immediately. Give it a second. It has to think about what chart to make. Oh, nope, it botched it. All right, sorry. Let me try it again. So I'm going to select those 2 things and make a chart out of that. And when I did this last time, it did that, which was really nice. So it makes the scatter plot really easily. And if you go to customize it, you can, let's see, there's, I don't remember exactly where it is. You can just put the line on. No, not that one. Series, is that it? Trend line. There it is, there's the line. You literally just click a button. Now, the annoying part is, it doesn't tell you what the equation is here. You have to get that from this information, right? So you have to know that this is the slope here, and that's the y-intercept in order to have this. It does let you customize things really nicely, as usual, right? Like you can, let's see here, we can tinker with the line all you want, right? We can make it a little bit thicker if we want. We could make it more prominent if we would like to. And so you've got all the nice customizable things that you always get in Sheets, which is great. This is why I was using Sheets in the first place, because I really like their graph functionality. I think it's fantastic. And consequently, if you want to get a shot of this for your homework, right? If you want a picture to put in your homework or put in a test or something like that, Sheets is fantastic, right? It's probably the best option. It makes graphs really easily. Good times all around. Kind of bad times trying to find the information though, which is awkward and weirdly painful. I don't know why they make it so hard. They don't label anything. You just have to know where it all is, and you have to know what it all means, and they don't tell you. So for that, I would recommend your calculator or the other option I'm going to show you, which is Desmos. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these. I'm going to select the data. One nice thing about Desmos, so you can just copy paste this stuff straight in. So I think have I mentioned Desmos before? I might not have mentioned Desmos before. If I haven't, Desmos is an online graphing calculator that I love. It also has an app, by the way. If you want to get the Desmos app, I use it on my phone fairly regularly. It is free. Fantastic. No ads, no nothing. Oh, my toolbar is getting in the way here. All right, so go over to Desmos. So it's just desmos.com /calculator. If you go to desmos.com, you can, it takes you here, right? And then you just say graphic calculator. There's a few things that you can do with Desmos. I kind of want to use Desmos in the classroom, but I haven't yet. So go to the graphing calculator, you get this. This is where you put your functions, and then obviously this is the graph. So one of the things that you can do in Desmos is you can put a table. It's not obvious how to do that, but this plus sign will let you put a variety of things. So I'm going to make a table here, and I'm just going to paste. So just Control V puts on, oh, it made the table for me automatically. That's really nice. Okay, so let's see here. If I show all the rows, I can see what all the data is. I obviously just copy pasted it, so it's still the same. So a couple things about Desmos. So Desmos is really good at graphing stuff. It's a graphing calculator. It's fantastic at graphing functions. It's actually pretty good at graphing data too. You can see we have the same data as you saw in the calculator and as we saw in Sheets. And so what we're going to do here is this. So here's the thing to notice. The Y's are called Y2 because there was a X1, Y1 was the table I put in, and then when I pasted it, just made a new table for me instead of copying into my old table, which I didn't realize it was going to do. So it's got X2 for the X variable and Y2 for the Y variable. And here's what we're going to do. Normally what you would do is you click on a new function or a new box. And if you wanted to make a function, it would normally look like Y equals 2x plus 3, right? And it'll graph that. There you go. That's how you make a function. Now, instead, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say that y tilde for approximately equals ax plus b. Oh, excuse me, y2 and y2 and x2, pardon me. So if you just hit y2 equals is approximately equal to ax2 plus b, and it will make the line for you, and it will tell you what it is, and it gives you r and r squared and the other stuff that you want. This is another way to get a good picture for your or if you want a picture of this. One nice thing about Desmos, you can change the colors around. So I can make this blue if I want, or I can make it purple. I don't know if you can tell, but the color of the line is changing there. Yeah, there's a few options with Desmos, and it tells you all this stuff, gives you the information, and it will make residuals for you as well. It'll find the residuals and graph them. So it'll graph the residuals separately. Like, do you see this? If you see this plot here, so notice it says residuals E2. You can plot that, and it will show you what they all are. And in fact, if you hover your mouse over them, it will tell you which ones are which. And it becomes very easy to spot outliers this way, right? It was relatively easy here, but it's very easy on Desmos because you can literally see this. By the way, is called the residual plot. You can literally see which ones are far away from the line vertically quite easily. It will also find them all for you, right? As soon as you hit the plot, it makes the residual plot for you, which is great. Or not, it makes the residual plot. It also finds them all for you, so you don't even have to do the residual thing in your calculator. Not that that's hard, but you don't even have to. So yeah, that's another option. It doesn't give you the thing that it doesn't do here, and I don't know how to make it do this, is to do the t-test, right? To do the t-test or the f-test if you prefer, which I didn't talk about how to do. But it won't do the t-test to give you a p-value to tell you if the correlation is significant or not. So you might end up needing to type it into your calculator regardless if you want to do the t-test. Maybe you can find out how to do the t-test yourself, but Desmos doesn't do it automatically. It does do a great job of giving you the picture stuff. Now, if you, excuse me, I'm just going to turn this one off. Oop, not that. Turn this off. That's what I'm trying to do. If you want to get a picture from Desmos, as far as I know, like you can take a screenshot, but I think it's probably better to use the snipping tool. That's the thing that usually works best for me. Also, you can zoom in and out by scrolling your mouse wheel up and down, like this, right? So if you want a picture like this, you can still see the scale on the side of the screen here. If you want to get and so you can like take a screenshot of all that if you want to. You can also make this go away, so you get a prettier screenshot by hitting that button. All these are fine options for screenshots. So here's what I'll say about linear regression in general. Your calculator does basically everything we want. If you want to use your calculator, go right ahead. The only thing your calculator doesn't do a good job of is making a picture, which is a little bit unfortunate because if you want to put a picture into something, you can use the calculator. I don't even have it open actually, but you can take a screenshot, by the way, on your calculator if you're using VMware, right? So if you're using the virtual version of the calculator, if you hit Control T, it'll take a screenshot, and then I think you go to Edit to look at the screenshots. You can copy paste that. That's how I get things that look like, or that's how I get the, what am I doing here? That's how you get these guys, right? The things that come off your calculator. I just used VMware Control-T and then copy paste this into the document. It works perfectly fine for me. And honestly, this picture's fine. If you want a prettier one, you can use Sheets or you can use Desmos. There's probably some other online regression calculators you can do as well. But yeah, however you want to do the regression, you have many options. I think the calculator is probably the best one for our purposes. It does all the stuff we need. It's just a little more awkward to use. It doesn't do anything for you automatically. Well, I guess it does a little bit for you automatically, right? It automatically stores your equation and will graph everything, et cetera, et cetera. But I find the automation of graph making in Desmos and Sheets a little bit easier, but it's a little bit harder to find the information. So I'll leave it up to you which one you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and end the video. That's all I wanted to show you was how to do linear regression with other things aside from your calculator in case you wanted to. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. And normally I would say I will see you in the next one, but I'm not sure there is going to be a next one. Maybe some study videos. But other than that, that's it. This is the last new material video for the semester, and it's not even really a new material video, right? It's just how to do things in Sheets and Desmos. So anyway, good luck studying, and I will see you in possibly some future videos, or maybe not. Maybe this is it. All right, see you later.